Welcome back, ladies, gents, and anyone who identifies otherwise. We don't judge. My name is James, and I will be your humble yet fabulous dungeon master as I continue to take these adventurers through their journey in the Underdark, where they find out what lies beneath. On our last exciting episode, they were again instructed on some chores. They got to deal with the flame spinel crystal flowers, which they discovered had some unique properties. They had some strange dreams. Their Jorah almost died through self-inflicted harm. What else? And essentially, they are slowly working their way towards breaking out of this drow prison. But they haven't quite made it yet. And we ended the last session with an unfamiliar drow walking up to the prison bars. Jorah, barely recovered from his injury, is a bit dazed and probably still not as paranoid as before. That's faded, but paranoid enough considering he's almost died twice. So we'll jump right in. But first, just a thing, Smush's player will not be here, so he'll still be tagging along, but just will be quiet, which I have reasoning for in-game. So, you're approached by a drow, whose token is apparently broken now. Why are you broken? You shouldn't be broken. I'm actually not sure why you're broken. Whatever, I don't really need his token stat, so it's fine. He has short white hair. His ears look a bit strange. They're probably the thing you notice most about him compared to most other drow that you've dealt with so far. Like, put on my reference picture quickly. Of course I can't when I'm trying to find it quickly. Whatever. They appear to have, what's the right term? An almost ripple-like quality about them. Almost as if almost as if perhaps they remind you perhaps more of a sea elf's ears than a drow, but everything else about them sort of speaks drow. They also have a piercing that goes right through, I believe it's called a bridge piercing, if my knowledge of piercing is correct, on one of their ears, which is spiked. They also have 3 piercings going through on their forehead and through their nose. They are quite an interesting fellow. He looks to you, cracks his neck, and goes, "Right then. Oh, right. Who don't I recognize? Right, so we got the mushroom, we got the 6-fingered guy, we've got the dwarf, we got the human. Yeah, right. You lot line up. You've got a job for you. And who would be an interesting person to add? Because we like to keep one of the more experienced ones with you. You know what? Just for the hell of it. Yeah, topsy-turvy you can come to. You're good at this. So, with that, he begins to lead you out of the prison down some corridors. And I'm going to load up the next map. And down a ladder in a room. And why am I missing a token now? Oh, no, there you are. For some reason it stacks some of you. Very confusing why I did that. And I'm going to Sorry, just setting. Actually, I didn't say for you to come. Why are you with them? Okay. I just need to set up one more thing quickly because for some reason they delete themselves. Okay, he leads you down into a room with quite a bit of a glow to it. The glow, when the map loads, seems to be caused by mushrooms, but there also appears to be a definite glow to the air. The two quagoffs standing by the entrance nod to him and then glare at you all, and he takes a few steps in and goes, "Right then, so here's the fun thing. This, as you can see, is where a lot of mushrooms grow, and this is our little fungal farm. Your job, harvest the mushrooms so that we can prepare them for food later." And he looks directly at Smush at that point, who sort of shrinks back, moves a few steps back, just like, "Oh no," sort of thing. But obviously doesn't speak because Smush doesn't speak out loud. He uses his telepathic spores. The Quagoffs here will give you some instructions if you need them, but it's pretty simple. Harvest the mushrooms, put them into containers, and we'll take them up with us.
Not to cut you off there, good sir, but I'm a mushtarian, so I actually just can't do this.
Well, good for you, but I don't care about your personal beliefs. You can still harvest the mushrooms, you just don't have to eat them.
No, actually, I can't harvest them. That causes harm to the mushrooms and it's against my beliefs.
I don't think you have a choice.
Yeah, he goes, "Well, you know what's against my beliefs? Dwarves who speak back to their betters," and he snaps his fingers. And let me have a look at something for them quickly. Where is my thing for them gone? Let me just grab the spare one. And I would like a second, what's save for this? A Constitution saving throw from you.
From who?
From Amrig. Okay, you managed to resist the magical effect, but as he is doing this, he also is going to target you and fire off a shot from his hand crossbow into you and hit you, and I need another Constitution saving throw. I don't know why that didn't do the damage. Oh, there it is. Apparently wait till after the con save. You manage to succeed, but your body feels a bit lethargic from it, and he goes, "Now, you got two choices. You can either harvest the mushrooms and harm them, as you say, or I harm you. Your choice."
I'm just going to spit on the floor in front of him and then just stare at him.
Oh no.
He sighs. So stubborn. And he's going to shoot you again. And once more hits, and it should ask you for another con save, hopefully. Which you succeed. Don't know why I did it twice, but
I've accidentally double clicked.
Yep. He goes, "Right. Still going against it?"
not going to say anything. I'm just going to turn around.
All right. You know what? I do not have time for this. You over there, knock him unconscious, and one of the Quagoths just walks up to you. And how much damage do these do? Yeah, it should be fine.
Oh
And
no.
knocks you unconscious, I believe. Wait, what? Yeah, knocks you unconscious. You've got another token onto you, and that's what was confusing me. And then he just sort of drags you over to here. You're not bleeding out, it's hit you with a bit of precision. Right. Anyone else objecting? No.
No.
Good. Right. I'll leave you here. As I said, if you've got any questions, ask the Quagos. They're experts on this sort of thing for some unknown reason that goes beyond my understanding. But if that one looks at the Quagoth, if that one wakes up and still won't do as he's told, just knock him back unconscious again. And then leaves. Right. So, Topsy and Turvy will immediately just head over and get to work. They seem to constantly stick together. They pick up some little tools that are in there and start harvesting the mushrooms. They seem to be ignoring some, but harvesting others.
I go over to Smoosh. I'm like, you can join me, little buddy. Can tell me which ones are like you and which ones are, guess, just mushrooms. But
He nods and hops onto your outstretched arm and then sits on your shoulder, I'll say.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over and pick up a. I'm assuming there's like sickles or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
walk over.
and Dave, you're unconscious for the next 2 minutes, so I'll tell you when that's up.
Solid. No worries.
Yep. But interesting seeing how your character is willing to stick to their guns. So, obviously, there are many kinds of mushrooms here. You can see that visibly on the map, though there are more kinds than just what's on the map. You have large cask-shaped fungus, blue mushrooms, shelf-like fungus that almost resembles masses of rotten flesh. Some 4 to 5 foot tall mushrooms with broad grey-green caps and light grey stalks. And what else? Some tall and tube-shaped ones that seem to glow. And most obvious one next is probably one that looks somewhat like a large human tongue.
Oh.
So, as I said, you've obviously got Smush can offer information, or you've got the Quagoths are there to help, and obviously Topsy and Turvy may or may not help.
I want to insight these mushrooms. Are they sentient?
Roll me that insight check.
And Smoosh will be helping me.
Yep.
Yeah. What is it for? Does he give me advantage or? am I
Yeah,
just
I'll
going-
say advantage in this case because he'd be able to point out any oddities.
Control, isn't it?
Shift.
Shift. Damn it.
Control's disadvantage, I think. Right,
No.
even with advantage, none of these appear to be sentient, though Smush seems a little confused by some of them. Like, he points to one and goes, I'm pretty sure that's Nilhog's nose, but I've never seen it that colour before, and it's glowing more.
Nilhog's
knows.
You know this guy?
No, it's just the name of a mushroom.
Oh,
It's supposed to make you really good at smelling things, though I've never quite understood what that means.
oh, okay. Shall I start chipping at this one then? This one's okay.
He shrugs. He's like, I'd rather not harvest any, but if it's got to be done, it's got to be done. Otherwise, they might eat me.
It's not happening. Don't think about it. And I just put like I guess a rag or something over him, just like don't think about it. Don't look at it.
Yeah.
And then I guess I kind of gently try and be
Yeah.
nice about it.
Okay.
Little buddy.
Yeah. So make me a survival check.
Survival.
You manage to harvest a good amount of these, and you don't inhale any spores or anything. So I'll say you've got a small, so you've probably got maybe 6. And this is what it's called.
Oh. Is that for me to keep or?
Well, they have asked you to harvest them, but you obviously have the option to keep them if you hide them. This is sort of what it looks like.
Oh.
Looks very much like a nose.
It looks like I've harvested as much as I possibly can. Start wandering about.
Okay.
Looking for the mushrooms in quotation mark.
And Jora, you're obviously doing some harvesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up 2 of the sickles or scythe or whatever.
Okay. Roll me a d12 as you approach your first set of these.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so you approach some of the shelf-like fungus that resembles masses of rotten flesh.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just going to say that's over here for the so you can give me a survival check to harvest that.
Yep. Survival.
Okay, that's pretty good. You managed to say I'm going to get 4 of this, though you don't know what it is yet because nobody's explained apart from that it's mushrooms. But sort of looks a bit like that. You've just harvested some hefty chunks of it.
Yeah. Okay then.
If you want to ask someone, I'm going to remove this drow I kept on there. Then there's obviously the Quagos, there's Smush.
Yeah, I'll ask the quack off. Go. What's this one then?
That one. That one's tasty. That is. That's ripple bark. Lovely raw, but it's even better when it's roasted over some torch stalks.
Okay. I'll take a nibble. See what happens.
Yeah. So despite its apparent appearance, for you, perhaps it's less of a horrible thing because you've had to eat the worst at certain times. For you, this actually isn't that bad. It's chewy. It's almost like if you made jerky out of mushroom.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. So you managed to get like 4 strips of that. And at this point, I will say that that Amrig will wake up. So I'm going to give you 1 HP back. How you react to waking up, I'll leave up to you.
I'm drow. I guess I'll just kind of walk around away from the thing that's next to me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna harvest any.
It looks to you and goes, Now, do as you're told and harvest some. But you can obviously pretend to harvest some technically without actually harvesting any, but
Yeah, I'm kind of just going to dismiss him and just be like, yeah, I'll do it, and then just sort
Yeah.
of walk off.
yeah. So, Midas, you've obviously headed off by yourself. Are you
Yeah.
looking for more mushrooms, different types?
No, I've harvested out as much as I feel I need to. I'm just wandering about.
Okay.
See what's
As Smush is with you, I'll say, do you want to ask him about any of the mushrooms that you see?
sure. Why not? Find out as we gander.
Okay. So, he points to a large car-shaped fungus and says, "That one's a barrel stalk. It's filled with water."
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
Points to some of the blue ones. Those are blue caps. You can make, as they said, you can make bread out of them. Um, so the
Oh.
the blue ones look a bit like that, and barrel stalks are quite hefty to the point that they sort of that's a sword next to them. So they're not exactly ones you could harvest very easily, but
Okay.
um, then there's some tall green ones which they refer to as Trillimac. Um, Actually, you know what? Um, with the exception of the middle one and Fire Lichen, because you've already seen Fire Lichen, this is a sort of what some of them look like.
Huh.
So there's some small like damp patches of like water where you're not quite sure where it's coming in. There's these orb-like ones which are referred to as water orbs, which can be squeezed like a sponge to get water, and they're also edible if but quite chewy and tasteless. Um, the one that perhaps catches your eye, Jura, as you're walking about, and maybe you as well, Amrig, because as a mushtarian, you're obviously against the harvesting of mushrooms, but this one doesn't look like any mushroom you've seen before. It looks very much like a large humanoid tongue.
This one seems pretty interesting. I say to
Yeah.
Jorah,
Yeah.
you reckon Smoosh might know what it is?
I mean, we can ask him.
It might be an idea to ask him. I'd walk off and find Smoosh and see if he
Yeah.
knows anything about it.
Yeah, in this case, because this is whilst they should know most of this, I'm gonna have Smush roll a nature check. Yeah, so oh, those ones are really dangerous. That's tongue of madness. Um, well,
Jorah, eat it, I dare you.
What does it do, Smoosh?
So if you eat it, it sort of messes with your brain, and if you don't, if you're not strong enough to fight it off, then you have to speak aloud your every thought for a time.
Interesting. I'm going to apologise to Amrig and harvest a small piece and try to hide it.
Okay, roll me a survival check.
Perfect.
Roll me a con save.
And here we go again, night guys.
Roll me a con save. Okay, so as you harvest this mushroom, you actually do successfully harvest it with no real problems. It slices as easily as that. I'm trying to think, as that cow tongue you once sliced out for a meal. Like you wanted to use all of the meat you'd got from a cow you'd managed to get a hold of.
Yep.
But as it touches your skin, or as you sort of actually as you lift it up to inspect it, it basically almost animates and darts out and actually licks across your lips.
Ew.
And as it does, you feel your mind begin to sort of be affected, but you manage to shake it off. But still, your lips are now a bright green.
Okay then, I'll try and wipe it off.
As you attempt to wipe it off, roll me. Let me just think.
Right.
Roll me another con save.
No escape.
Yeah. As you try to wipe it off, you hear a voice in your head just be like, "So, that was my first kiss, you know. Did you enjoy it?"
What? What's happening?
You just heard a voice in your head that's spoken to you.
Again?
Yep.
Look,
Different voice this time. Almost sounds like a young woman.
I will say it out loud. Huh, so different voices. What do you want?
Oh, nothing. You've already given me what I wanted. What can I do for you?
I don't know, what can you do for me?
I don't know. It depends how much you need help from a tongue.
Well, it'd be interesting to speak in more languages, I suppose, but I doubt you could help that. Oh, actually, can you get this collar off?
It looks at it, and then the tongue actually does seem to move, as if considering it. You can't see any eyes, but it's clearly looking at it. And then it
Okay.
sort of freezes up and shakes, and then seems to try to pull out of your hand.
I'm still going to keep hold of it.
No, let me go!
No, I've still got it. I'm not letting it go.
It just sort of sighs and goes, "No, can't help you with that. Maybe I can help you later. Just put me in your bag or something."
Yeah, I'll stash it. I want
Nobody else heard this voice.
They just heard me talking aloud to myself.
Yep.
Great. Here we go. Yeah, I'll put it in my pocket.
And yep. In fact, you know what? Just for that.
Started backing away slowly, like just while he's having a conversation with his tongue. Just start slowly moving out of picture there.
So let's up that, and then I'm just gonna check one of my tables a moment. Nope, that's fine, but just keeping track of that. But yeah, Ambrick, would you like to? Are you looking at any of the mushrooms, or are you just sort of pretending to, sort of thing?
I mean, I'll look at them. I'm probably not going to harvest them, but I'll look at them all, see if there's any that I notice or any that are like, you know.
So there's some which perhaps you wouldn't class necessarily as a mushroom. There's a bioluminescent green moss that seems to grow in the areas which are dampest down here.
That's definitely not a mushroom. I'll give that a poke.
Roll me a survival check if you want to harvest that.
Oh yeah, go for it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Is it gonna?
This mushroom is called Dr. Pepper.
You
Yeesh.
manage to harvest it fine. It leaves a slight stain on your fingers, and you.
Is it glowy? Is it like a neon? If I rub my finger on the wall, does it cut? Does it like rub off on the wall?
Yeah.
Ooh.
From roll me a quick intelligence check. Yeah, you don't know much, but you think that maybe if yeah, you think that you could probably use this to like draw on walls, maybe, you know, do some glowy art, but that's about it.
Interesting. Does it look a bit like the stuff that was used to draw the runes on the floor in the prison?
Perhaps not in any sort of obvious way, like none of that seemed to have that same bioluminescence, but it's possible that maybe something like this could be used for something like that, but you're not sure. That sort of magic is normally more you've seen people use that, but it's not magic you've yet studied to be able to really know much about it, like your like seals and things like that.
Okay. I'll stuff some of it. I
Yeah,
know my beard's getting pretty full, so
yeah, and you might dye your beard green.
yeah. So I'm gonna see if Jorah's got any magic pockets or something he can put stuff in, or even
I mean, I can try.
or even Midas, see if they've got anywhere that they can put it. Might be useful.
Yeah, Smush will pipe up as you come over, and it's just like, oh, that's Ormu.
It's Umu.
Ormu.
What's an Ormu when it's at home?
It's a moss, but normally it can be harvested, dried, and made into powders and pigments for art. I've seen some of the elders in my circle use it for like to make themselves look pretty and glowy for rituals.
Interesting. Interesting.
Definitely not edible, that one though.
No, I can imagine as I wipe my fingers across the walls, leaving pretty patterns.
Yeah. The Quagoths just look at you and just glare, but they don't actually say anything. Jorah, are you doing some more harvesting, or are you
Yeah. So I said I picked up 2 of the sort of hand sickles.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I could remove the head off of one of them.
Okay. You might be able to do that. Roll me, I'm gonna say a strength check.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Despite the fact that these have just been left lying about and it's quite a damp thing, these don't appear to have rusted or anything, and they're actually pretty well made to the point that it doesn't seem to be coming off. If you were to take a guess based on your own experience, you'd almost guess that these were dwarf made.
I'm going to go over to Amrig as a dwarf.
Yep.
I say, I don't suppose you know how to get the heads off one of these, do you? And I'll hand it to him.
Roll me a Smith's Tools check, which you actually don't have. So
I have proficiency with some of his tools.
Yeah, so roll me. What shall I say? Roll me a medicine check because I'm going to say it's wisdom plus proficiency, which medicine is in this case. So it's just an easier way of doing it. Yes, you know how to take the head off. You can see.
So I know how to take the head off.
Yeah, you can see sort of the seams, sort of where a slight twist, a slight pull at the right angle will take it off. You know this because it's purely for like if the blade needs to be repaired or something or replaced, it needs to be able to come off, but it's quite secured. But you know how to undo it. And it is indeed dwarf make.
I will relay that information to Jorah that it is dwarven make and I can take the head off. Would he like me to?
If possible, yes. I want to try and hide it.
I will do so.
Yep, so you're able to remove it because you know what you're doing. And Jorah, if you want to hide it, it's a sleight of hand check.
Yep, let's see how I do. Yeah.
Not great, but not terrible. Let's see if either of the Quaggoths notice what you're doing. That one doesn't. He's busy picking his nose. That one also doesn't. They are not very wise.
They are picking each other's noses.
Perhaps.
Yeah, so I will hide that wherever it's able to be hidden.
Yeah, you'll hide it somewhere in your clothes, in a upper sleeve maybe, or somewhere where you can easily like move it. If like someone was to like pat down that area, you'd move it to another whilst they're checking, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'll hide that one.
Actually, you know what? Let's see. Do either of them notice? Nope. The two wet Sverfnebling, couldn't think how to pronounce it then. Don't notice anything.
Okay then, so yeah, I'll hide it wherever I can hide it.
Yep.
And I'll just sort of nod to Anrig and go off to harvest some more mushrooms.
Okay, roll me a D11 this time.
Yeah, okay. Me that.
Okay. So you find some blue caps, which you know can be made into spore bread.
Yeah, I'll just harvest a few of them.
Yeah, survival check. Though, to be honest, this is more to see how many you'll get.
Yep.
And for those who are capable of casting magic, I would like you to make a saving throw using your magic skill whilst you're in here. So, wisdom, charisma, etc. Okay, Amric, interesting. And I'll roll one for Smush. Smush is fine. Okay, so let's have a look. One thing you have noticed in here is there is a strange glow to the air and a strange feel to it, and that sort of that sort of feeling of you not being able to reach your magic because it's tied up in webs is there, but the webs feel strange. And let's see what happens. Okay, interesting. Do I even... Let's get those. Roll me a d6.
Oh god.
Okay,
That's
let's...
be fun.
Moosh's turn?
Nope, Smoosh doesn't need to. He's not being affected by this.
Oh, cool.
He rolled way too high to be affected by this. I think... Let's just take that As you are, what did I have? One more I thought they'd be. As you're and like as you're doing things, just a creature appears next to each of you.
Oh.
It's a strange creature that looks a bit like this.
I want to poke it.
Okay, feel free to poke it.
I'm going to poke it.
You poke it?
What does it do?
Is it floating?
Yes. They seem afraid of you, and as you poke them, it's going to react, and I need a dex save from you. Okay, you're lucky. You managed to dodge out of the way as it sprays out a foul-smelling liquid. Almost like a squid with ink, but it stinks. It's one of the worst smells you've ever smelt, and you think it would be like you've smelt skunk. This is worse.
Yes.
You said it's a liquid.
Yes. But it does seem to start to dissolving away pretty quickly.
What, the liquid?
Yeah, but
I'm going to tear a bit of my sleeve off and dunk it in the liquid. Or like try and mop it up.
Okay, make me a con save. Hey, you're fine. You managed to do this without any negative effects whatsoever. In fact, somehow, and you're not sure how, by dabbing this up, you somehow smell better than you did before. And this flump is looking at you with newfound respect in its strange stork-like eyes. The other one is just staring at Amrig as if like they are a demon about to eat them.
Can I
do I have any idea what this thing is?
Roll me an Arcana check.
That one I can do.
Yeah, these are flumps.
Hey. Would I know how to calm a flump down? Or try and or at least seem less threatening to one?
By thinking good aligned thoughts.
I think good aligned thoughts, like things like I would never harm a living mushroom creature, and that it shouldn't, yeah.
It looks to you and roll me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Was it shift or alt for disadvantage?
Alt. I think, or it might be control. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, nice. It actually seems to calm down a bit.
Amazing.
And it speaks into your mind. It just because they can. This isn't me making shit up talking. These actually do.
Yep.
It goes, where am I, hairy one?
I'm guessing I can reply in my brain.
Yes.
And I'm gonna think to it. I believe some kind of drow prison. I don't know. I just woke up here. Sorry, wait. I didn't even. I just woke up here. I don't know what happened or where I was or anything. But
how did I get here?
I don't know. I came in here and I thought about some magic, and then you appeared.
It glows green,
Ooh,
and it just seems to be looking at you. And you can roll me an insight check if you like.
I will do that.
It is curious.
Hey. I mean, you're curious as to, I guess, how you got here, just the same as I am, except I have this horrible collar on me that digs into my neck every time I try and get it off and stops me from using magics. You don't have one of them, luckily.
It looks at it for a moment and then reaches out and touches on the front of it, and then immediately begins to glow red.
Yeah, yeah, it's not good, is it? Certainly not good.
It places, it sort of wraps its, like, places one of its tendrils against like the side of it, and I need you to make a dex save.
Oh God.
But yeah,
Oh no.
you are unfortunately knocked unconscious by this.
Oh,
And
floof.
the rest of you see him looking really panicked. But what you also notice is that part of the collar has been eaten away.
Oh,
Oh,
floof.
It backs away suddenly, looking, and glows blue.
I'm scared.
The other, the other flump sort of floats over, looking green, and then sort of looks over and looks blue, and it's just like confused and generally something. Would anyone like to do anything? You've just seen Amrig just sort of be touched by this thing, then fall down unconscious.
I mean,
And
the one
actually,
that-
Amrig, roll me another dex save as you fall unconscious.
Oh God. I'm gonna fall over, hit my head, and just fail 3 death saves. Okay,
Hey, you're
that's not bad.
fortunate. You're conscious enough as you're falling that you manage to position yourself in just such a way that you don't land on any mushrooms.
Amazing. I saved the mushrooms even in unconsciousness.
Yeah,
so I'm actually right round this corner here,
yeah,
and I'm wondering this wall here, or whatever this is.
yeah.
Is,
You.
is this gap here?
Yes, let me just check my lighting. Yeah, technically, yeah, you would be able to go through that gap.
Yeah, I'm gonna like cover my mouth and nose and scooch my way through that. That's what I would have been doing anyway.
Yeah.
So
Okay, Smush is just coming with you because
yeah.
you know.
So I don't really know about all these flumps or whatever they're called
Yeah.
because I was making my way down.
Topsy and Turvy just shake their head and move over here away and continue their work.
And I see the
Um,
quagos down here. I'm like, oh fuck.
They look to you and they're just like, "Wow, there are mushrooms on this side, so good job coming round to this side. Best see you harvesting."
I already have been showing the ones I've been doing so far.
That's all you've got in the time you've been down here. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Reladus will be disappointed.
The other two told me I had to get specific mushrooms.
They look and just sort of go, that doesn't seem right.
That's what they told me.
And then
if you got a
this
problem, go take it out with them.
this one leaps up onto here and goes across, leaving you with just one.
That's fine.
But for now, whilst you're over here, do some extra harvesting. There's some more of that sort of mushroom over here, so
Ooh, more size.
yes.
I'm just exploring right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's a note over here, apparently.
There is a note on there.
Oh, is there actually? I thought that was just the map.
Yep.
The map.
It is a
Oh.
bit of the map, but I'm pulling it into the thing.
Yeah, I will read this notes.
You actually can because it is
Under comment.
actually No. Roll me a intelligence check.
Hell yeah, I'm
You
good at intelligence.
you may actually be able to read this, but
Not too bad.
actually, yes, you can. Whilst this is in Undercommon, it also appears to be in some form of code. But it's a strange mix. Whilst you can speak Undercommon and you can speak Thieves' Cant, that's more surface Thieves' Cant.
Ah,
But with your intelligence and your knowledge of the two, you're able to sort of break that down and see like similar meanings. Like, say something like water off a duck's back. That's might mean something on the surface, but down here there's not ducks, so there'll be something similar,
so,
but not quite the same sort of thing.
so using Thieves' Cant, I'm able to decipher what
Yeah.
the undercommon version of Thieves' Cant would be.
Yeah, because you're smart enough and you've seen enough, and perhaps seen some examples of more exotic thieves' camp when you've been traveling. Perhaps a pirate variant or something.
Cool.
References. um, but this appears to be notes on how a mixture of certain fungi might be useful to help something, but there's a word you're not familiar with. And it doesn't appear to be an undercommon or thieves' cant, it's just not a word you speak.
I'll roll it up and tuck it into
Yeah,
whatever pocket I have in what
yeah,
I'm forced to wear down here.
yeah. Not much.
Yeah.
Just some like the other Quagoth comes back through after a bit and it's just like, Oi! What are you doing lying for? They didn't say anything about specific mushrooms, or if they did, or if you thought they said that, you're just stupid.
Wait, you think I'm lying? I'm the prisoner here. Surely they're lying. I think you've been had.
Roll me a persuasion check. No, actually,
It-
roll me a deception check.
Yeah, it's probably deception. Come on, don't fail me now. No. I was hoping
Uh,
to get on fighting each other. Oh,
he looks to you, walks up to you, glares at you, and then just
of course he does.
slaps you round the head, and then goes, "Bad, whatever you are, back to work," and then goes back to his post.
Oh, I was so hoping to get on fighting.
Yeah. Um, right. Whilst this has been going on, Jura, what would you have been doing whilst you've seen Amrig fall unconscious?
Well, I know the flumps aren't gonna hurt us because they would have done more than just spit a smell at me.
Yeah.
So, can I do a persuasion or something to put my hands up and say I'm not gonna hurt you and try and get
Yeah,
over the line?
you can. Yeah, I'll say persuasion, but with disadvantage still.
So that's alt, isn't it? Or
Yeah, alt for disadvantage. Actually, not bad. They seem to recoil slightly at something about you, but then one of them just nods one of its eye stalks, and you take that as you're good to approach.
yeah, I'll go up to him and just try and sort of wake him up or whatever.
Yeah, roll me a medicine check. And Amrig, whilst this is going on, roll me a death save.
Medicine. It'll be fun.
You can see that there is an acid burn, and you can see the claw mark from the Quagoth and the bolt mark from the crossbow, but other than that, you don't know.
Okay.
You crit succeeded. You're back up on 1 HP.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Ah,
What a waste of a crit death save at the same
Yeah.
time. At the same time, you wake up perhaps your knowledge of the grave stops you going to it early, and you're able to bring yourself up. But you do feel that the collar is slightly looser on you. And at that point, the flumps look relieved and they sort of glow a yellow colour.
Oh, they're happy.
And then they disappear.
Go.
I'm gonna look at Amric, make sure look him over, make sure he's all right.
Yeah, he seems better than you'd expect for being knocked unconscious twice in the space of 10 minutes.
Do I notice his collar?
Yes, you can see a slight, as you're looking at it closely, where the material isn't quite as thick.
Right.
Almost like it's been, weakened at that point. Not enough for you to break it easily, but enough that it will be easier to break.
Okay. That's good. I'll help him to his feet.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'll just say, sort of nod to him and go back to start, do some more mushroom harvesting.
Yeah. I'll say Smush comes over to join you because Midas isn't harvesting, so he comes over to you to.
Well,
yeah.
I was going to say I'll grab a couple more on this side just to make it
Of
look
the same sort of mushroom or a different kind?
I'll do the same kind because I know that one is
Yeah.
won't affect me in strange ways.
Okay, roll me that survival check.
Just so I don't look like I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, you managed to get another 3. And then Smush just sort of nods and climbs across and joins Jura.
I'll climb across as well.
Yeah.
Rah, over the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not so much a wall, it almost appears. Actually, all of you roll me a nature check.
Yeah, over the wall.
Yeah, so Smush and Amrig, you know that this is not a wall. And looking at it closer, Smush stares at it for a moment, then backs away very quickly. And Amrig, you're not as aware of what this is, but this is clearly some kind of creature.
Sorry, what, this thing?
The whole wall section which these are grown on, it's clearly some kind of creature.
Okay.
But you're not, Amrig, you're not aware of what kind of creature.
I'll let everyone know that it's a creature of some kind, but
Smush
as to what, I don't know.
Smush just in your head, you just hear Papa One, Papa One, Papa One, Papa One, Papa One, Papa One, Papa One.
Oh, it's a purple worm.
Oh, that sounds harmless.
I can't think of anything that would possibly have yeah,
I mean,
perfectly fine.
do I know what a purple worm is?
Nope, you have no idea.
That sounds
based on
harmless.
its size, it's quite big because this entire wall is it from.
I mean, it might not be totally harmless, but it's in pieces. So.
Oh wait, this thing that we're climbing on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dead though, isn't it?
Yeah, but still, Smush still backs away like it's gonna move at any moment. He's terrified.
I'm going to ask Smush, what's a purple worm?
With his roll. So a purple worm explains the monstrous subterranean creature, hardened scales, normally chitinous like plates, but those appear to have been removed. Its tail, which you can't access, has a poisonous stinger, which is very deadly from what he's heard, and they're highly skilled at swimming and possess a powerful tremor sense that allows them to basically sense everything in contact with the ground. It's got very strong acid in its stomach, and yeah, these are quite these can be like 80 foot long and stuff like that. And
Oh wow.
they are known to burrow, which you're guessing, based on this sort of thing, is perhaps what happened. But clearly something took it out. But this seems, at least based on its size and what Smush has said, like, seems beyond any of the drow that you've seen, at least in like any form of combat. Like this thing's a beast.
So are these all like scales that are still on it then?
No, those are
Oh, those are mushrooms.
mushrooms growing off of it. So it's
Right.
because obviously mushrooms grow in damp, decaying things,
Yeah,
and this
no,
is a
that's right.
damp, decaying body.
Does it still have its teeth in?
I'm going to say you don't know because that area is sort of caved
Oh.
over. But
Can I go look?
you can certainly try.
Yeah, I'll take a walk over.
Yeah. Roll me a investigation check. Looking it over, you can see perhaps little shards of what you would imagine to be teeth, but it's kind of like the cave sort of area there is sort of collapsed over the top of it, so you can just see glints of it, but not enough to be able to get any.
Ah, damn. Okay then.
But it at least proves that creatures like this, even as big as this, can be taken down. But if it's something this dangerous, what's dangerous enough to bring it down?
I'm gonna sort of head over here and harvest some more. You know, get some more mushrooms.
Roll me a d6 this time.
Yep. Roll.
Okay, so let's get that one. So you find a 2-foot tall toast with orange and red stripes across its beige cap.
Okay, I'll harvest it.
Okay, roll me a survival check. Perfect. Roll me a constitution saving throw.
Yay, I love these.
You are so lucky. You
Okay.
literally just met the save for it.
Sounds good.
You feel this begin to, unlike the previous one, which sort of made your mind feel a bit strange, this one almost makes you start tripping. You like lose your sense of direction, you're confused as to where you are, even thinking of moving and doing something at the same time is affecting you quite badly, but then you manage to shake it off. But Smush, who was still with you, I'll say,
Yeah.
looks over and it's just like, that's Timask.
I go, oh, I feel weird. What does it do?
So let me see if I can get you art of it as well. So, looks a bit like this. Timask is, it releases poisonous spores when it's uprooted or destroyed. Those poisonous spores affect people as if they were under, and he explains this in a more in-game way, but I'm not sure how to explain it, and as if they were under the effects of the 5th level spell Confusion for 1 minute.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've managed to harvest it, and the spores have sort of settled down, but so it's probably now mostly inert, but probably not suitable for eating, for example, as it might have more spores to release. And it's certainly not something you'll be able to hide easily because it's like 2 foot tall.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just carry it over with me.
Yeah, and it's at that point that I shall say that
Wait,
Yeah. Did you want to do something else?
Yeah, I'm just talking to these guys here. Just like
Yeah.
to the Quagos. I'm like, so that one that came over, when he came back, he said he was talking shit about you. Called you stupid. Said something about your mother.
Roll a
Hey.
deception check.
Do I hear this?
Yes.
He gonna take
Can I
that?
back him up with it?
You can, so I'll say it's rather than being disadvantaged, it's flat.
Oh, disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, oops. Right, what's the first one? Can't see.
Okay. It's a 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
To these two here.
Oh, you actually. Let's see. Let's see if the other one gets it. It's possible.
Please don't.
Nope. Neither of them manages to get it, and this one sort of looks and goes, "What did they say?"
Said something about your mother being an easy lay. Doesn't sound right.
No. Then it just sort of goes, just sort of looks at the other one and goes, "My mother's not an easy lay, you know that. I mean, she costs at least 100 gold." And heads over.
I'm getting rid of this corner. As I'm gonna be harvesting more
I'm-
mushrooms in quotation marks.
I'm going to be doing the same. Hiding around with him.
Smushes
Can I
it
roll
over the-
stealth?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
The other one is sort of watching you. But
We're like harvesting mushrooms.
yeah, I'm gonna have to. Right, let's do. The fact that you're this bad at this surprises me, but whatever. Okay, and this one's gonna roll wisdom save, which is intimidate 2, and then we'll roll a persuasion check.
Make them fight. Make them fight.
Okay, and this one roll a wisdom check to see. And then this one's also going to add to that. Let's see. Ooh, interesting.
What the hell is going on?
You guys can't hear from over there until it gets to a point and there is loud bellows and the sound of claws on claws.
Yes.
But it is at that point that Relidus, whose token is now for some reason broken, which is great fun. I'm just going to fix that temporarily. It should take me a second or two.
But he's the one on our side, right?
No, Jorland's the one on your
Jorland.
side. Yeah, this is the guy who brought you down here and shot one of you. And
Oh, he has a different token. That's why.
yeah, it's because his token got broken by something I was doing to optimize things. I'm just fixing that a moment. Is that just gonna? Nope, that's not gonna work. That's annoying. Why didn't that just work? That'd be much better if that worked. But whatever. Nope, wrong button. Where are you in my folder? Folder. Nope, that's not where I want you. So I will be right with you guys. Have so much artwork.
Hey, other guy. Sounds like your friend's having a tough time. You're not going to back him up?
Nah. Just goes. He says his mother's and he's hard lay, but to be honest, I got her for 5 gold, so.
What?
But Rella just walks back in and just like, right then. Just sort of looks at the quag off behind him like, did they insult his mother again? They nod and goes, honestly, that Quagoth and his mum such a mummy complex just because he's the only one she wouldn't sleep with.
What?
That's what the drow says.
I feel like you you unknowingly unlocked some deep dark trauma here.
Okay, I just hold up the mushrooms and just drop them into the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, he nods and goes, "All right, once Mummy's boy's back, if he's alive this time, then get him to bring these up and report to. Who should I have him report to? I guess report to Asher. She can heal whatever wounds he has, and yeah. Anyway, bloody Quagos, they are the worst. We need to get better hired help. This one looks slightly hurt, and he goes, "Except you're okay for a Quagoth." It nods and just sort of steps back. Right, the rest of you.
One of them's got mummy issues, the other one's got daddy issues. Who'd have thought?
So topsy turvy, you can stay here and continue harvesting. The other four of you, I've got some other work for you to do, and hopefully, dwarf, you won't have any issues handling metal.
Metal I can do.
Oh no, metal I've got a problem with. I'll smile and laugh.
Goes, good, because I'm going to jam it up your ass if you keep complaining.
Won't that just make him complain?
Yeah, but I'll at least get some satisfaction out of it.
Sounds good. Okay. I won't kink shame.
I'll just sort of roll my eyes at him and walk up.
Right, so he leads you into leads you into a room you've not been in before. Hope that should load in a moment. Right. He leads you into a workshop complete with a forge. There is all kinds of weaponry and armor here. And he goes, right, so your mushroom harvesting was subpar, your combat skills were frankly terrible, your crystal harvesting skills not bad, and what else have you done? Your kitchen skills, again, not terrible. But we obviously got a dwarf in our midst, so we might as well put you to work for something you're actually naturally born for, and see if you work well as a smithing slave.
Wow, way to stereotype. How do you know he's good with a forge?
Before he even gets, how do you know he's good with a forge out? I'm already tinkering with the forge that's in the room.
Yep.
I'll just look at him and go, hand him ahead of himself, for f***'s sake. Okay.
Exactly. Right, so there's some stock metal, there's the forge, there's the anvil, etc. Just what?
That's the start of music video. Just like, you're not good at this. You're hopeless at that. What are you good for?
Okay, apparently so. Just sort of goes, right. You also notice in this room there are some of those crystals that you harvested or similar ones, and goes, right, whilst you're in here, you're just gonna forge, see what you can come up with, and if it's good enough, then you might get a reward. If it's not good enough, I might test it on you.
Are you going to show us how to put these into this? And I'll hold up a crystal on a blade.
No, If you're smart, you'll work it out. If you're not, you'll burn yourself. Either way, I win.
Unless someone stabs you with it. Like
You
very
guys,
sort of,
you
very
guys
sort of
really,
quietly under my breath.
you guys really don't know how to get the most out of your workforce, do you?
Yeah. Honestly, he just sort of looks at you and then goes, honestly, I really don't care either way. If you, I'm not the one who has to sell you. I don't get the profit out of it, so just get the job done. And if you displease me, then I get to hurt you, which is fun. So,
Mm.
so to be honest, looking at you, dwarf, you've been hurt quite a bit today. Wonder why that happened.
Something about a Quagoff's mum or something, I don't know.
Ah, right. Well, get to work, you lot. And I'm gonna sit over here on this crate and watch you.
Hmm.
I'm actually gonna make some tools and weapons.
Okay, so in this
I'm gonna
case,
fully stereotype it up.
I'll assist.
okay, so what I'm gonna do, where's your sheet?
Pretty sure I'm good at like leather work. So I guess I'd be good at the handle if you're making
Yeah,
like
you might be able to do something with that.
yeah, I'm good at leather work.
Let me just import something onto your sheet.
Levered hand.
Okay, and let's just edit those. Has it automatically given you proficient? No, it hasn't. It should do. Okay, so you now have some smith's tools on your sheet whilst you're in here. And Midas, I'll give you some leather working tools.
Yeah.
Which hopefully you're proficient with. Not sure why, but
Because I got a proficiency, chose leather work because of it out.
yep.
Well, I'm not that I'm wearing it right now, but
Okay, so you can both make me a check with your respective tools, which is on your inventory, and we'll see how it goes.
I think I might have double clicked again.
You did. So I'll say the roll again, Midas.
roll again.
Yours. Yep.
Okay.
And I have 2 rolls. So the first piece you turn out together is absolute shit.
It's these stupid collars, always digging in and choking.
I know, right?
But the second one you make is you turn out a fairly nice, I'm going to say, dagger over the time. Like the first one you screw up like straight away, so you go straight into a second one. Perhaps getting used to unfamiliar hammers and things, like different to how yours are normally weighted and your own tools, but you manage to, get somewhere. Smush is looking at the crystals, seeing if he can work them out. Jura, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna watch because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
Interesting.
I don't know how to work a forge. I don't know how to make a weapon. It's
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably attempt to make you some really bad arrows and stuff for that there.
Yeah, you could roll me. There's a strange wood that you don't recognize.
Yeah, I'll go over to it and pick a piece up.
It Smush sort of points. Oh, Zerkwood.
I'll sort of look at Smush and go, what's it used for? And I'll try and give it a sort of flex and
It's one of the few sources of wood down here. It's a mushroom, but normally like 30 to 40 foot tall. Its spores are edible, but it's also used to make furniture, um, bridges, rafts, things like that. And people who work well with it can even get fancy patterns out of the thing.
Is there enough to make like a piece I could use to try and like make a quarterstaff or something like that, or is it all like sheets or plank?
You might be able. It's more. I would say it's more. Actually, no. There's probably different bits. So, yeah, you might be able to make some.
Yeah, I'll actually what I'll try and do. Sorry, I'm gonna be a pain. Is try and do like a spear sort of half like
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, I'll try and do that.
Okay, so you can just roll me a straight dex check. Would be disadvantaged, but I'll say Smush is helping you. So you begin to make some work with it. So you're basically doing this for probably a number of hours. You haven't eaten yet today.
I mean, I took a bite of a mushroom.
Yeah, other than that bite of a mushroom, but you're sort of getting the hang of it, getting the groove of it. Probably nowhere near finished because obviously forging takes a while, and carefully crafting something like testing out with unfamiliar materials. So after about, he walks over, looks at what you've done so far, and nods, and then just sort of goes, right, that's enough for today. I'll leave these pieces where they are, and potentially, if it's on the schedule, you can come back and attempt to finish them, maybe. Oh, no, I don't care. But at least you did a good job. Though he walks over to Amrig and Midas and looks at the piece that they fucked up, and doesn't actually, and just sort of looks between them, looking at who did worse, and then just sort of shakes his head at Amrig, seeing that was the metal that was slightly worse off, and just sighs, and it's just like, oh, I'll have to report that. Whatever. Yeah, it's not bad enough. You know what? I don't need any more excuse, and he's just going to attempt to punch you in the face.
Can I intervene with the spear piece and just aim it at him and just go, basically, enough?
I mean, you can attempt, but
Oh yeah, I'll do it.
Yep. Either way, you go to, so roll me, I'll say a dex check, and we'll see if you're quick enough to be able to intercept the.
You sort of go in and just sort of try and bat his hand down.
It's not bad. I'll say that sort of defends, and then he just sort of looks over to you, and with a flick of his wrist, fires off his hand crossbow at you.
Oops. And down I go.
And that's a bad fail. Okay, so for the next hour, you are poisoned and unconscious unless you're woken up in some way. But you're not dying. And then just goes, that's better. I got to hurt one of you. He whistles, and another drow walks in and just sort of looks and goes, all right, take that one to and the dwarf to the separate prison, to the special prison. We'll deal with. I'll take the other two back. So this one will lead you to. Well, not. He's basically half carrying you. Not the most gently, so you're going to wake up with a few bruises, Jura. when you
Yeah,
wake
that's
up.
fine.
But you end up being put into another cell, and he just sort of nods to the guard in there, and then it's just like, yeah, really just told us to pull him in here, so he's gonna report that, and something interesting will happen. Looking forward to it, but maybe I'll get to watch, and then just leaves you there. The other two,
Come here, little buddy, and I let him climb back up onto my shoulder.
yeah, you get led back to the main prison cell, where for some reason he is now there twice. Fun. Where Topsy and Turvy have apparently been led back, and he puts down some dirt and some bread and just some general like slop sort of food, and then just goes, all right, rest up. You got some entertainment to watch tomorrow if I have any thought about it. And with that, everyone will benefit from a long rest,
Whoa,
Lovely.
okay.
as that is the end of the first day.
Right, so
Well,
do I just
second
say
day.
yes to the death save? Yes.
Yep.
How do I do that?
Let me just. I'm just going to put you at 1 HP, and then
Yeah,
you're
that
good.
long
Yeah, then
rest.
just do the. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's just put relatives over here for later, and then right.
During my long rest, can I try and conjure the floof? And I just think good thoughts and think of the floof and hopefully
You can
feel like
certainly
it.
try.
Yeah.
Roll me a wisdom check.
I can do that. Wisdom check.
We have a pet.
Oh, it was so close to being a 19.
And roll me a D100.
I thought it was 700 for a second then.
I'm gonna just re-roll that one because.
Is that
Yeah.
what I think it is?
Mm-hmm.
It's the end of everything.
So, basically, as you're resting, you try to conjure up the thing of this flump, and for a moment, fire starts radiating from your hand, and you can feel an explosion building up. And then suddenly, the explosion turns into beautiful butterflies that flutter about you.
A beautiful butterfly. Can they try and eat the
It is.
eat the necklace?
No, they just flutter about.
Damn it.
But, second.
Should have made them roll new characters. I think because he rolled a 79, it's butterflies. It is actually the wild surge table. So 7 is a fireball on self.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please don't cremate me.
So, whilst we're doing this,
I'm taking that guard too.
well, I am going to get each of you to roll me initiative checks.
Ooh.
Each of us? Including
No.
us?
Yep.
In here?
Yeah, just you, Midas, in there, because I'm not going to do Smush whilst he's not here. Okay, so order of things. Excellent. So, Jorah,
Of course.
Yes.
I'll begin with you. So, like before, your dreams are not pleasant ones.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, that tongue of madness you saw previously that you have in your pocket falls out of your pocket in this dream, and as it falls onto the ground, darkness begins to open beneath you, and from that darkness, multitudes of tongues rise up, spiked ones, and begin to, and as they sort of you try to avoid them, suddenly it all goes pitch black as if you're blind, but you can feel and icy cold, and you can feel your body slowly dissolving. And you just hear a voice and goes, "All will be as me." And I would like a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Let the madness begin. I call it every time.
Oh wow, I was not expecting that because you're at the hut. Okay, so okay. Right, let's see what you get because you're getting a bout of indefinite madness.
Wait, permanent?
Mhm.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Okay. Roll me a d2 first of all. Okay, so you're gonna get the
I
big
seem to like-
table.
I seem to like ones tonight.
We're gonna roll on the bigger table for you then. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So, I'm going to tweak this one slightly because that will basically break you entirely as a character. So, if someone addresses you by your full name, which you have not introduced yourself to, you've just obviously introduced your first name, you will be struck with fear and paranoia and achieve the frightened status until, and at the end of each of your turns, you'll be able to make a wisdom saving throw to break free of the effect.
It's a good job no one will ever know his full name.
Yet.
Yeah. Hopefully.
But what if this isn't his real name? I know.
I
I know.
I have ways. So yes,
Edgy.
make a note of that on your sheet somewhere. Possibly in biography
Biography, yep.
or in features if you want either one will work. And
I'll
whilst
put
you
it in biography, the one I know how to actually use.
yeah. So so if someone speaks your full name, you will have the frightened condition in regards to that target until they're either out of your sight or you succeed on a DC 13 wisdom save at the end of your turn.
Okay, done that.
Okay, and it's up to you to remember that. Amrig. So, the last time you had a dream here, you were obviously consumed by a large purple crystal, which in itself is terrifying for you, but this could be worse. As you're laying down in this prison, recovering, perhaps scratching at where the acid from the flump got you, perhaps batting a butterfly away, you notice on your hand a mushroom sprout.
Oh god.
And then another. And then another. What do you do?
I'm deaf. I try and brush it off.
As you attempt to brush it off, the mushrooms all look at you. And there are no eyes, but you can see they're looking at you, and you just hear in your voice, in your head, "I thought you were a Mustarian. Why would you harm us? What have we ever done to you?"
Clearly you've not been harmed because you're still talking. Otherwise you'd be dead.
"But you tried to remove us."
Well, because you can't live on me. I'm not a good diet for a mushroom.
But why not? You have
Because
flesh, you
because
have bone.
not
You
things
will
mushrooms
rot.
need. You see,
You will
I've got a
rot
friend who's
eventually.
I've got a friend who's a mushroom, and there's some dirt over there that he likes more than flesh.
We have seen him, but he is not one of us.
Yes, she is.
No, he is not. He is a
Yes, she
myconid.
is.
We are so much more. She has chosen you to be our host.
Mm. Who is she?
We do not speak her name
Well
for
then,
fear we would bring her wrath, but she has chosen you to be her host. It is a great honor.
well, I feel honoured, but I mean, host. How many of you are there?
They go, for now, only 8.
Only 8 of you.
Yes, and you notice that on your other arm that you're attempting to brush away, there are 4 on that arm as well.
Oh, nice. Um.
Symmetrical.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, I've brushed you off now, so there's not much more I could do, is there?
You attempted to brush them off, but they
Oh, I see.
sort
They've
of...
not. They still clung on.
Yeah, in fact, as you attempted to brush them off, you feel it pulling at your flesh, almost as if your flesh will come away with them.
Oh, nice, nice.
And they
Well,
look to you and just be like, if you continue to be kind, perhaps she will invite you to her wedding.
I do like a good wedding. Will there be ale?
There will be much. It will be a joyous occasion for all.
Who's getting married?
Her and whoever she chooses.
Who is she?
You'll have to find out. And with that, you wake up. There are no mushrooms on your arms,
Thank
but
God.
there are... Your flesh around where the mushrooms would have been appears to be raw, like
I've been
almost a
scratching
rash
it
of
all
some
night,
kind.
kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Nice.
would like a wisdom saving throw from you.
Wisdom saving throw. No whammies, no whammies.
That is fine. You are fine. You do not have any madness yet. Now, Midas,
Yeah.
in your dream, you were being torn limb from limb by someone that you thought had raised you, but was strangely different. The dream continues. You can feel that pull at each of your limbs. The you can feel it biting down into your wrists, into your ankles, and you can see the large, strange eyes staring at you. As it does, you see its mouth open and you see hundreds of tiny insect like creatures pour out and begin to crawl over your body, biting into it at various places, and then continuing to move up till one of them reaches your eye.
Ah, Father, no.
It begins to burrow in through your eye,
Oh,
going round it.
no. That's horrible.
And you hear a voice saying, "And now you shall be my true son."
What? What? Does-
And that is where your dream ends. And I need a wisdom saving throw from you.
course. Yep. Wisdom saving, bro. Yep. Hey.
Oh, lucky. That was almost a 3. I saw that 3 and I was getting my hopes up. You wake up and once more like before, you can see for a few moments the bite marks on your wrists and your ankles, and you can feel the pain as if they were still there. And you can also feel the bite marks, and your skin feels like something's crawling over it for a few moments, giving you um, the shivers and shakes, and your eye, the vision from your left eye appears blurred, and when you wipe it, there's a strange oozy residue.
Ugh. To be fair, when I'm looking at like the bite and claw marks, they
Yeah,
probably like are all the ones that are already there.
yeah, and the like ooze-like substance is black in color.
Oh, gross. Oh,
And for a moment, as you look at it, you think you see an eye in it, but then you blink and it's definitely not there.
it's like I wipe it and it's on my hand, but then I look, sort of blink and it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like this place. Drow prisons suck. I say it loud.
um, Runt sort of who? What the Run? Where are you going? Um, I somehow managed. I don't even know how I did that. I somehow sent him back to the blacksmith room with the click of a button, and I don't know how I did that.
Rump was like, I'm not having any of this. Bye.
Yeah, it's like I must return to my people, and he just sort of raises a hand and goes, "Here, here, sucks."
Yeah. What time is it? Do you know?
Time means little down here, I'm afraid, Venoran says. But if I was to guess based on my last trip to the service, I would say it is early morning, as you surface people would call it.
Yeah, I meant more like how long was I out, but okay. Good to know.
Oh, you didn't ask that. You asked what time it was. If you want to know how long you were out, you need to ask that.
Cool. Okay, buddy. That's fine.
Dinky walks over and goes, "You're asleep for 7.23 hours and 69 seconds.
See, this guy knows what's up.
The ceiling and the surface
Yes.
and
Okay. Yes.
Smush's sense of fear when anyone threatens to eat him."
That's true.
And then he just walks away as if like the conversation didn't happen. It is after a little while that Jorlan arrives with a sort of sloppy soup for breakfast, and he just sort of hands each of you a bowl of it. And he just sort of sighs and just looks up, and it's like, "Why am I the one serving food? This is way below my station, but whatever. Anyway, Midas, Smush, hurry up and eat because this might be the last time you get to see your friends."
Why? What's happening to our friends?
Well, they're being put into the arena.
Again?
Yep,
On their own?
yep.
But why?
Apparently, what was it? The dwarf was refusing to do work, and then the other one tried to stop the dwarf being punished, so now they're both being punished. Either way, if I was to guess, my guess is spiders.
Oh, okay. Wait, that they're going to be fighting spiders?
Well, that suggests they'll be given a chance to fight back, but there'll be spiders involved.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right then. Guess we'll follow.
Yes. So he's going to take you to the arena. I'm just going to zoom you up there quickly. So he sort of puts you onto the benches and is just like, right, if you're smart, you won't interfere, but
Can we get a bit more light in here? Can't see anything.
that's a good point. You can't see in the dark that well, can you?
I can see like 20 feet, and that's it.
He sighs and is just like, you know what? And he's just gonna
Hey,
click his fingers and some lights turn on.
hey.
Yeah, you surface dwellers and you're needing vision. Yeah, so obviously you can see a bit. But after a bit, that's weird. Okay, it's how it handles lighting is very strange sometimes. After a bit, the two of you, the prison you're in is opened, and you are led out by a drow guard who leads you over to the doors. You find that your ankles and wrists have been chained together to each other, and he's dragging you by a chain and eventually drags you over to these two large pillars which are glowing, and it's quite painful on the eyes because obviously you've been in the dark for a while. And he chains you to the pillars and then walks over to here, places down, let's have a look, places down a spear and a short sword. Goes. Yeah, it's right. Should be. And then a few moments later, Shaw walks in and goes, right, Jorah, Amric, you have been playing up, and so you are now going to be punished. We have, of course, been kind to you and have kept things nice and easy, but no more.
Kind, you shot me with a bolt twice.
Yes, and you're still alive. Consider yourself lucky. If it had been me who you had disrespected so, or if it had been the warden, then you would have been far worse off.
Well, it sounds like you need to train your people better then, eh? Then they can all be like you. They can all be so tough and big when people are chained up. And they've got these dumb collars on them, yeah. So big and clever, you guys.
Yes, but we're the ones who successfully captured you, so...
Payable. You were probably up there picking your nose.
I'm just going
learn...
to start mimicking his voice and repeating everything he says with perfect accuracy.
He looks at you for a moment, but doesn't say anything more, just walks over here along with this guard. And they all sit down. And for a moment, it is all quiet until a final pair of figures walks in. It seems you have drawn quite an audience for the only two female drow that you have seen in the entire prison. Both walk in. Asher sits down, not next to Jorlan, because nobody sits next to Jorlan.
I was going to look at Amber and go, they're the women.
Could have fooled
and
me.
and then the warden walks up and goes, just sort of tilts her head for a moment and begins to chant something. And
James,
then...
I want to try and cast Mind Sliver at her.
Okay, you can certainly try.
It'll be interesting. Oops, sorry. I meant to roll to hit.
It's a saving throw based spell, but I
Oh.
need a charisma check from you anyway.
Charisma check.
Oh, that was almost.
You try to cast the spell, and
Mhm.
she just looks at you and smiles. As let's get my beasties onto the field. I could bring those, but that seems mean. So, yeah.
The hell?
Wait, why didn't that one work? Okay, as 4 swarms of spiders appear. And at this point, I would like the pair of you. Let me just end the combat that you're. How do I do this? Reset initiative. Move you from the combat. Yep. Roll for initiative, essentially. Okay, and I will roll for each of the swarms. As the mistress walks over and scoots Asher over and sits down next to Shaw. And Jora, you are up first. As I've said, there. Let me just pull a drawing on in. I'm going to say in this square here, where this sort of orange. Nope, that's not drawing for some reason. In this square here, where this sort of weird shape is.
Yep.
There is a spear, which I believe you're proficient in.
Am I?
Oh, please say spears are simple weapons. I'm always forgetting which one. I swear spears simple.
I know quarterstaffs are.
Yes, they are. There is a spear and a short sword.
We're still chained to the post, are we not?
Yes, but the chains are loose enough that you, with some effort, you should be able to. Actually, I'm going to move one square closer because it makes more sense. To there. With a bit of work, you could stretch and reach to them, but you do have these 2 swarms of spiders near you.
Right, I just want to ask something on my positioning. Should I be where I am or on the pillar like Cameron is?
No, where you are, basically. It's just the pillars aren't.
Damn it.
Why?
Okay, that just made things even worse. Thanks, James.
Why?
I can't do what I was going to try and do. Okay. So.
Don't put Samric too close. I think that sort of works because then you're both like 2 squares away.
So is he within 10 feet away?
Yes.
Oh,
exactly 10 feet.
Right, so I can't do that.
The clock is ticking. What are you going to do?
I'm going to reach up my sleeve and pull out the obsidian dagger.
Okay, roll me a sleight of hand check to see if you can get up your sleeve with being chained. Always a nat 20. You try to reach up your sleeve, but maybe due to the positioning of the chains, you get a bit tangled,
Yeah.
and you're unable to do so. I'll say that was your bonus action,
Right. All these spiders are within 10 feet, yes?
apart from this one.
Right.
That one's 15.
And you said the people in the stands are sort of over here, right?
Yeah,
I can't ping for some reason.
over here is. And
Okay.
you've got Midas and Smush over here, who can hopefully see things.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just gonna have to try and cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so I need a charisma check
That one
first
over
of all.
there.
It's actually enough, but you are going to be rolling at disadvantage for the attack roll. And remember
Yep.
to target with the Alt key
Alt.
if you can. And then click. Yep.
And then it's Alt and click
Yeah.
hit the spell.
Yep.
Disadvantage.
Hmm.
Oh fuck.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, the
Roll me a d4. Oh, I feel so bad for them. As you attempt to fire, one of the spiders grabs hold of one of the swarms sort of grabs hold of you, and you sort of flinch out of it, and your Eldritch Blast fires off and hits Smush for 1 damage.
Yeah, okay, well that's all I can do.
What does your Eldritch Blast look like? Because this is the first time you've been able to cast it.
I actually haven't given it a thought. I
Well,
forgot it has its own shape.
Yep.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna have it as a 6-fingered hand, just streaking out sort of
Okay,
purples,
so
sort of black and gold, sort of gold
six-fingered
tips, black.
gold and black hand basically palm strikes them in the face.
I'll just look at Amric and go, "Oops."
Yep, and they are in range because Eldritch Blast has 120-foot range. Would you like to attempt any movement?
Yeah, I want to try and grab the spear if I can. Reach
Okay,
it.
make me a strength check. You are unable to move against the chains. You can feel a little bit of give, but not enough. So
Yep, that's my
move
turn
to
then.
Amrig. What are you doing, Amrig?
I would like to jump over the spiders and grab the short sword that was put there.
Okay, roll me a strength check to see if you're able to pull enough against the chains to get enough slack for that.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, you're not. You try your best to sort of jump and pull at the chains, but it seems maybe they're tangled up around the thing, so you're unable to do so. But I will say that was just your movement for this turn, so you've still got your action and your bonus action.
Awesome. I will. As my action, I will try Sacred Flame against the spiders in front of us.
Okay, roll me that wisdom check to see if you're able to cast. Oh, you are able to cast, so roll that spell.
Flame radius dance creature you can see within range. A target must succeed on a dex saving throw.
Yep, so if you target the creature with an alt click, then it should, and then click the spell, then it should roll it for you. When you... Okay, rolling my save, an 11. Fails, so it takes 3 damage. And they sort of scatter about, scattering all over the place, but they're still sort of there. Spider turn 1. Unless you want to do anything, it's a bonus action.
Mm. No.
Yeah.
No. Nothing yet.
So the spider swarm begins to crawl over you, Jorah, climbing over your feet, crawling up your clothes, and begins to try to bite you. There's a lot of
Jeez.
D4. But somehow you manage to shake them off, and you are not actually damaged at all by this attack. You manage to maybe your skin's a bit tough, maybe something changes, or maybe they catch a bit of the obsidian, but they don't manage to do anything to you. This second swarm is very annoyed, but because obviously it's a bright light in a dark place, I'm going to give these ones disadvantage on their attack against you, Amrig.
Og.
They do nat 1. So, I'll roll a D100 and see if anything interesting happens. No, in this case, they just
Fireball,
missed.
fireball, fireball.
No, it's not magic in this case. I will say that while she chanted in order to seemingly bring these out, these did seem to like crawl out through like holes in the walls and stuff rather than actually just appearing. The swarm behind you, Jorah, also crawls on top of you because, you know, that's how swarms do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And is going to try to bite you. That shouldn't be 18 damage. That should be 12 damage, so...
Either way, I'm down.
Yeah, but if it was 18 damage, you'd be dead. So, be glad
That's
it's
the
just
point.
the 12. So you are unconscious with spiders crawling all over you. The mistress just sits and watches, smiling. Though you obviously can't see that. The warden even. The final spider swarm is going to try the same for Jorah, but this one will for Amrig, but this won't be at disadvantage because this one hasn't received the bright light. Oh no!
Oh no! Did you just? Oh no!
Well,
Death spider it shall be.
You are lucky to some extent. The warden whistles and the spiders will retreat. That is the end of the combat. She walks over, looks at you, Amrig, sees that they have torn a seemingly swarmed over part of your body, and you places like two fingers against your flesh and tests like your pulse and just sort of goes, Asher, get the other one up. I need to deal with this one. Jorah, you are woken up before you have to make any death saves with just gonna say with 5 HP. And you see, as you wake up, you see Amrig down on the floor, bleeding out, basically, or in fact, based on how he looks, you don't see how he could have survived that. And firstly, I'm annoyed that my crit macro thing isn't working properly, but it's actually been another 2 more damage, but we will ignore that for the time being.
So in my eyes, he's dead, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay then. I'm going to get very, very pissed at that. Thinking that, and I'm going to cast Arms of Hadar.
Okay, roll me that charisma check. You were able to cast the spell.
And I want it placed there.
Yep, it's going to make you roll the save, but
I don't need to roll the save.
yeah,
'cause
I know.
it's-
Yep. Technically, it should be all around you, but whatever, doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. I didn't miss that part.
Yeah,
Then. My bad.
yeah, but either way, she. Why hasn't it applied the damage to her? Not sure why that didn't apply the damage, but I will apply the damage. She looks surprised and just like, and will targeting your face for this
Yeah, that's fine.
is going to cast Sacred Flame on your face.
Would you not have disadvantage being point blank?
Nope, because it's a saving throw,
Okay.
not add ranged attack.
And I'm down again.
You are down, and
Wait,
more importantly,
how much health does Jara have altogether?
I have 9 health in total, but I was brought back
Yep.
to 5.
And then you
Yep.
took 15, so you're dead.
Yep.
Dead.
Yep.
Oh,
But I'm going to say that this was done in a non-lethal way for this
Oh,
spell.
I missed the 15. I didn't see that at all.
Yeah. But
Oops.
Amrig is in Death's Embrace. So, before I am going to say, the warden does pull out a scroll and start muttering some words on it. But whilst that's going on, we're gonna have some fun with this. So, you find yourself the last thing you remember is these spiders devouring you, but in your head, rather than devouring your flesh, they seem to have devoured the ground around you, and you find yourself falling, and falling, and the dark keeps getting darker. It was pitch black, but somehow it's darker. As a dwarf, you know that as there are 7 shades of light, to those who in the know in certain areas, there are also 7 shades of shadow. But you seem to have fallen to a place where even that is indistinguishable. But you are caught upon a single large feather, and you're sort of rested there for a moment, and then a figure forms out of the darkness. You can't quite distinguish what it is, but it appears to be, if you were to put a sort of figure to it, it would be a feminine figure, though it seems to constantly be shifting, and it almost seems to be more than being an actual female figure. It almost seems to be embodying the idea of being a female figure.
Oh, hell yeah.
It seems to be looking at you, looks over you, and goes, "You've died, haven't you?"
I'm guessing by the fact that I'm seeing you, yes.
Now, as one who follows my grave domain, you're obviously familiar with death, but a list of names seems to appear in front of them, or a list of what you assume to be names, and they just sort of run a finger along it and goes, "No, not yet. Not yet." Now, you've been brought here early to where I am, and you have not collected enough for me yet to be worthy of admittance. and yet you've been sent here early. And it will be her doing. Influencing one of her people will be difficult and dangerous. But I suppose the question is, Amrig, I am going to give you two choices here. The first is that I let you continue falling. Where you are now is a place between life and death, but closer to between light and shadow. If I continue to let you fall, you'll fall deeper into shadow until you descend into the true darkness. And from there, there will be no return. No reincarnation, no afterlife, nothing. You will cease to exist. Or I can have a word with the warden here to have you brought back to life. But there will be a cost.
And the cost?
Well, as you know, I'm a collector of memories. So, I would like... the memory of your mother's face. Of course, when you meet them again, you can develop that memory all over, but until that time, you will no longer remember her, what she looks like, or the sound of her voice.
Hold on, you just said face, you didn't say voice.
Yes, well, I was thinking and I've changed my mind. Actually, you know what? I will give you... That's fair. And I like when people bring up points. It shows that they have a sense of free will. So I will... You can either offer me the sound of her voice or the image of her face.
I mean, I feel like the people that I've just met probably going to need me. And you know, as things happen, I quite enjoy spreading your message across the land. So I guess voice would be the the preferred
Right.
memory.
She nods and goes, consider this a temporary thing. Once you again hear the sound of her voice,
Of course,
you will then have this memory returned to you.
of course,
But,
you are but a fair mistress.
but for now, she snaps her fingers, or what you assume to be fingers. It's more, again, rather than actual fingers, it's just the almost like if you somehow took a hand and removed everything about the hand, the flesh, the bone, and you were just left with almost the spirit of the hand, everything that is embodies a hand, clicks that, and a feather falls onto your brow. And you hear your mother speaking, just maybe a song from your childhood, maybe telling you off for touching the pies before they were cooled down. But as they talk, the voice loses all like tone, all lilt, all, and just becomes completely monotonous to the point where there is no emotion to it. You can't tell who's speaking. It's just a voice. And then you wake up with 1 HP. And you see the warden looking down at you and just goes, "You are a lucky dwarf in many ways, but most of all that you are more valuable to me alive for the time being than the necessary components to bring you back from the brink. It seems that my pets were a little bit too much for you, but this was a punishment, not a fight you were meant to win, so fitting in its own way. But for now, you'll be returned to your cell. Actually, looks to you too. No, I think we're not quite done with you, actually. We're going to put you in the special cell again. And just smiles and looks over to Shaw and just goes, "I think we'll give them that treatment. They seem like they've earned it." And chuckles. And then leaves. And beckons Asher to follow. And those two leave. And Jorlan walks over. Going to get rid of that template now because it's not needed. Wakes you up, Jorah.
Yep.
And just sort of looks at the pair of you and Unchanged and just like, "I'll deal with this, sure. You've got better things to be doing." "Yes, I do, but don't go easy on them, you hear me? We will be aware." "Yes, yes, I know. And then the two... Right. You mushroom and human... Help. Would take... God, take them back to their cell, and we'll decide what to do with them next. But for now, I feel that... actually... Would that be more entertaining? Yes, I think so. Right. Take them into the room outside the special cell. Keep them chained and let them watch.
What did we do? What?
Nothing, but I find that seeing the example acts as a fitting motivation for obedience.
But why have we got to be chained for that?
Because you might not want to keep watching. And then he leaves.
Oh, okay. I guess
Right. Right, follow me. Not...
No,
Hey.
you're following me.
Get back here. Right. He's gonna lead you and Smush into this room where there are in fact chains on the floor, and he chains both of you by your ankles and by your wrist to the floor, and also your collars to the ceiling, so you are held in place to some extent. You can turn your head a bit, but not much. The other two are put into the prison cell and chained to these... No, that's Jorlan. And chained to these wooden beds.
Huh. I guess death wasn't enough for them.
Death is too good for some. God, I'll keep an eye on them for this. Go join the others for whatever. And he leaves. And Jorlan looks at you all and it's just like, I really don't know what I should do with you. But you have... And I like that idea, thank.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
you
No worries.
have brought the annoyance and ire of Reladus, the mistress, oh, sorry, the warden, as she likes to be called to you folk, and to some extent Shaw. So I'm afraid I can't do anything to mitigate this, but it at least won't be fatal. And again, he whistles once more, in the same sort of tone that the warden did. And swarms of spiders begin to crawl out of the walls and begin to crawl all over you. And that's all they're going to do. They just are going to constantly crawl over your flesh. You can feel their legs moving up you. You can feel their gaze upon you. You can see them crawling across your face, almost going into your mouth or your ears. But they don't. They're just constantly crawling over you. And he just goes, but how would you react to that? And how would the observers react to that?
You gotta shout, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Amrig would just kind of tense up, close his eyes, mouth, and I guess nose and ears as much as possible, and just kind of just think about, I don't know, forges or mushrooms, whatever gets them going.
This reminds you of a strange...
Being bitten by spiders until I died?
This reminds you of a similar torch-like thing, but rather than being for punishment, it was a test of faith, where in order to truly understand the grave, you were, for a short while, buried. It is a dangerous ritual, but it is one that is supposed to be necessary to gain the favor of your god in that respect. It's perhaps worse because you can feel the crawling on your skin, but by thinking of this as a test of your faith, perhaps, and focusing on other things, you can give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no. It was so close to being a 20.
Yep. Right, let's check my resources. You are
Dead.
Yep, you're currently at that. Okay, so let's roll on the short-term madness table. Okay, so you begin babbling incoherently for the next 10 minutes. But so you're babbling absolutely madness. It's
Bibble bibble.
Yeah.
That's the frog.
Yeah, I know. Bibble bibble.
For some reason, I was thinking you're referencing Red Dwarf then. Anyway, Jura, how are you reacting?
Well, it's a new experience, bearing in mind this is basically what caused him to go unconscious. So he's not taking it too well.
Yeah.
He's sort of freaking out. He's quiet, but he's really visibly shaken and getting quite creeped out.
Yeah, you can also roll me a wisdom saving throw to see if you're able to maintain your... Okay. You're able to, whilst you're obviously unnerved by this, you're able to maintain your strength of mind, perhaps because you've suffered worse. It reminds you of a time on the streets where rats had crawled over you in your sleep and the marks they left, but they don't appear to be damaging you or causing any harm. It's just the sensation of them crawling over you, or their multiple legs going across your skin, causing it to itch. And you feel like you've suffered worse, so you're able to maintain your sense of rationality. But
Okay.
Amrig's babbling, however, does seem to give Jorlan the perfect cover for something. So he sort of looks to Smush and sort of makes a gesture with his hand, and Smush nods and uses his spores on everyone so that you can communicate, so that he can communicate with Smush and then pass on the message without actually speaking. He goes, right, you're all fools, but my plan is almost to fruition. If you can survive one more day in here, it might even be possible to do it today, then there will be an opportunity presented for you to escape.
Okay. Could you give us an easy job next day, like back in the kitchen or something?
I will see what I can do, but I can't make any promises. It all depends on what needs doing, but that does seem a potential one. Or it might be a cleaning job, perhaps. And some of the bedrooms are filthy. Some of these people don't deserve to be called drow. But if you do manage to escape from the prison, you're going to need to be smart and think. But from the prison, or if you use the prison as your base point, or the arena where you are now, if you head north from the prison or west from here, you'll arrive at the temple. In each of the entrance chambers to that temple, you'll find a chest. In that chest is your equipment.
Oh.
If you want to have any chance, you'll want to get that. But the chests will be locked, so it'll be up to you to find your way into them. But hopefully, if my plans go as expected, there will be no one in the temple to stop you.
Good to know.
And Amrig is just babbling incoherently this entire time, and he's just like,
Blah.
you may.
Blah, blah.
You probably don't want to mention this to the others, or at least your exact ideas, but you might be able to persuade some of them to assist you in one way or another, perhaps causing further distractions, or perhaps making an alternate escape so there is a chance for you all to escape.
Can I? Oh, sorry, go on, Jim. Sorry.
Yeah. But whatever you do, try not to get into a fight. You'll want to be at your best when you escape if you want a chance. And if I was to advise you anywhere to flee to once you leave, and probably the one person you want to take with you above others, you want to go to the Dark Lake, and Bibble will be your best guide to get you there.
Okay.
On the waters, you'll be harder to track, so it is probably your safest point to go to, but that is not. There are, of course, other options. You could go to Menashara. Few would expect you to go that way.
Do I know what that is?
No, none of you would know what this is. But he explains that Menashara is the Drow capital.
Oh. Yeah, probably not the best
As
idea.
he said, no one would expect you to go to there, but which, sometimes going the stupid route is the smart route in its own way. But again, not advised. But if you're looking for a way back to the surface, which I assume most of you are, then Menashara may be one place you would need to go eventually, because Drow above most know ways to the surface.
Can I ask him something in a bit, or just call his name in Abyssal quietly, just to see if he understands me?
He raises an eyebrow and responds.
Does anyone else understand? From what I can tell,
Amrig doesn't, though you wouldn't be able to tell.
oh, he's babbling away to himself. So
Smush looks surprised, and you hear him say something. You hear him say, "You speak it too into your mind." In Abyssal.
damn it.
And I'll pretend to understand, he said.
Roll me a deception check, Midas, and Jura roll me an insight check. See if you can see.
Garbly garble,
Never mind.
baba.
Oh, you both that won't.
Roll again.
No, I'm thinking this. I'm trying to think something funnier than a reroll. Okay, so Midas, you are so convinced of this lie that you believe that you start saying random words and you are 100% convinced they are abyssal. They are absolute nonsense, perhaps even more nonsensical than what Amrig's saying. Jura, you think Midas is speaking abyssal, but a dialect that you're not aware of.
This really makes my plan. This has shot it out the window completely.
That's amazing.
I'm gonna try and speak to the drow guy. I forgot his name again.
Yeah.
In a code for him to try and understand.
Okay.
Effectively saying along the lines of, "You know the truth," or "You know what the truth of the secret."
Yeah.
Will that help at all?
I will roll his check. And just message me on Discord what exactly you're hinting at. He seems to have got it, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting what you're getting. Because there are like 3 things, I think, which could be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
He looks at you and goes, and simply says, "A change can be as good as a rest sometimes."
Do I understand the response?
Roll me an intelligence check, and I'm going to say at disadvantage because you're covered in spiders still.
God damn it, James.
Oh.
I forgot to alt, so I'll do it twice.
Okay.
Annoying.
He's not being overly cryptic, so you think he is saying that yes, he knows, and yes, it might be useful if used correctly, but you're not 100% sure on that. You're a bit like, I think that's what he thinks, but...
Right. So I'm going to continue in Abyssal very quietly. Take a very deep breath and say, I have a secret I'm hiding.
You have a what?
I have a secret I've been hiding from you all.
Yeah.
And
Smush goes, what?
and then do I still realise that Midas doesn't understand this, or am I convinced he does?
You're convinced he does.
Right?
He's speaking to you in a form of abyssal that you've not heard of. It sounds like abyssal, but
Although I am terrified to do this because of my past. However,
I'm actually going to say, looking at your languages, what you're actually speaking, and possibly it has that same sort of like harshness to it. Midas, you're actually speaking Draconic.
Yep.
But because you know abyssal is demonic, you're like, oh, Draconic, demonic, they're the same thing.
Yep. I'm just saying stuff and nodding my head.
I will, due to my past, which I don't have the ability to go into. I have hidden this from you all. However, needs must, we need to escape here.
Yeah. And as you say that, before you do anything, he's going to make a gesture with his hand, and you feel the collar loosen ever so slightly, and you feel the effect of it weaken ever so slightly. But so you can now roll me that Constitution check with advantage to see if you can
roll it
pull
twice
this
because
off.
I can never remember the buttons.
Yeah.
So a 1 and a 15.
Yeah, you are able to do this.
I will drop my my shape changer ability and revert to my changeling form.
Okay, so
which I do have a photo, James, but you can't put it up on screen, can you?
if you send it to me, then I can.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I can pull it into the chat.
Amrig acts shocked in dwarven gibberish.
I've got to find the photo now. Sorry, I did have it because I saved it from the. Aha. There we go, James.
I'm still just nodding away like, I knew that. Yeah, that's what I suspected. But inside I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so that is what he ends up looking like. The color of his skin seems to fade away. The color of his eye seems to fade away. The color of his...
Sorry, just a quick one. Cam, I don't know if you're here, but the image isn't showing on the stream. You need to scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's a way that I can... that might be showing for everyone now, possibly, but then Cam's going to have to close it.
Yeah. Hold on, what I can do, if I can post a link in the Twitch itself.
Yeah.
Let me find it. Sorry, carry on just quickly, James.
Yeah, so his hair is devoid of color, his skin is devoid of color, his eyes devoid of color. And his flesh seems strange and almost slightly misshapen and perhaps almost like a white clay, for want of a better term.
So you can make yourself look like a statue.
No, I got timed out. So, Cam's done it. Thank you, Cam.
So you can make yourself look like a statue.
What language are you saying that in?
I just say that in regular.
And instead of answering, I will perfectly copy Midas's form.
Yep, so he looks now exactly like you, Midas. Except with 6 fingers on each hand.
And the horns are still there as well.
And the horns.
just what I thought. I'm beautiful.
And
And
at
just-
this point,
sorry, go on.
Amrik, your babbling stops, so you can react properly to this.
As the babbling stops, just to prove that it's not just one thing, I will then change into Amric. So slightly shorter, because I can do that as long as the character is still medium.
Yep. Smush is like, do me.
And I'll kneel down and say to Smush, I unfortunately can't. You're too small. I can only stay at so high.
He looks sad, but then shrugs.
Can I try and change into a medium-sized mushroom?
You can try, but I'm going to need another Constitution check, and
I
this
will-
time with disadvantage.
I will try.
Whilst
I'll
he's
try.
looking like me, I'd like to poke him, like in the face.
So 14, kind of like a medium
You
smush.
do manage to turn into a medium smush.
And I'll just go, this is as good as I can go.
He nods, but you poke him before that. You poke him whilst he looks like you. The spiders begin to crawl away, I'll say, at this point as well. Just perhaps where your babbling stopped.
So
And then I'll revert back to my form that everyone knows and loves.
Yeah.
So if we can get your collar off during this escape, you can look like one of them and lead us out.
I'm going to change into the drow, because I can never remember his bloody name.
What, the one in front of you or a
Yes,
different one?
The one in front
Jorlan.
of Jorlan. And I'm going to try and arrange my hair to hide the horns.
Yeah, it's tricky. Like, they would be visible if someone was actively looking for them, or maybe you like made a mistake. But potentially it could work.
I mean, the horns aren't meant to be big as they
Yeah.
are anyway,
Oh,
but I
no.
just couldn't shrink them.
Yeah, I know.
So I'll look at Jordan and just say, how do I look?
He just goes close enough. Nobody's going to look too closely at this, and he gestures to his deformity. But a smart idea. In terms of the collars, I only have permission to loosen them or tighten them. I can't remove them. However, you should be able to find the code somewhere in the temple that should remove them.
If they were to cut off, would they be noticed?
If you were to cut them off entirely, probably be noticed, but if you were to... So, probably if you are attempting to do that, probably wait until you're ready to, like, you've got your equipment together or whatever.
Okay.
But it's up to you. If you do that before then, they will likely find out and make you suffer a worse punishment than what you already have. Though this time I think they might not let you off with death.
The problem is I can't change my clothes. All this time I'm still in the same rags.
I think he thinks of this and goes, well, if you might be better off transforming into someone else anyway. In the temple, you might find some of the warden's clothes, as that is all where she spends a lot of her time. Or you might be able to find one of the other drow's clothes in one of the rooms.
I've seen what the warden looks like, haven't I?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to change to her, and I'll say, would this be passable?
Probably.
And I will even mimic her voice quietly.
Yes, that should work. What else? What else? There was something else I wanted to tell you before.
And then I'm just hopping back to my normal form very quick before anyone sort of comes in.
Yes. There is also a room to the far east of the prison. It's just south of the arena. That is my room. There is a hidden chamber at the back. And he mentions a word. If you feel you have time, then there may be some extra items in there that may help you on your way, but I make no promises.
I just sort of nod my head.
And
Thank
with
you.
that, he says, well, now I'm going to leave. Someone will be along later to let you out, I suspect, or they might just leave you here for the rest of the day. I'm not sure, but I have to be getting on with my duties, so enjoy. And he leaves.
Cool. I hope he takes us into the kitchen. So
Yeah. And with that, unless there's anything anyone else wants to do,
I mean, did you say we're sort of strapped to the tables, or
Yeah.
can we sort of move?
you're strapped. You've got a little bit of movement, perhaps enough to like lift yourself up or tilt yourself a bit, but not enough to like sit up.
Jor will just sort of roll sort of onto his side and face the wall,
Okay.
wondering if he's done the right thing or not.
Okay. Amrig.
I suppose I'd console Jorah and be like, it's okay. We've all done things we're not proud of. Can't change where you come from, though. Can change where you're going, though.
and change who you are, apparently.
That too.
He just doesn't say a word and just curls up into the corner.
So edgy.
Anything else from you, Midas?
I'm just stuck here. If I have enough movement, I probably give Smoosh a pat on the head to
You've probably got enough for that. And your hand once again gets sticky with honey, which for some reason he now seems to be producing from his head slightly.
What? You have so many surprises, little dude.
Just goes, yes, it's Moobity.
No. No. Oh, I wipe it on the wall.
And with that strange sentiment, that is where we shall end tonight's session. So thank you for watching. We'll be back again on the 18th, where we may have an additional player to help with this. And we will also be back with Roll for Story the Clawed Coast on the 15th and Witch Hunters on the 17th. There'll be no other D&D this week because the DM for those is on holiday, and I hope he has a good time too.
Well, he did say if he gets back in time, there would be a Friday session, but no guarantee.
What, for this week? Well, then there might be the Sunday one, but from what I know, there won't be this week. If there is, then, we'll put an announcement on Twitch or something, I don't know. But either way, goodbye for now. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the spiders bite, because apparently they will fuck your shit up.
I just want to say I
And
hate
confirm.
I know.
Right. Night, guys.
Bye.
No.